I'm so glad somebody's saying this because this is something that's been really annoying me when we having this whole rep your culture conversation. If you are a black American that goes to a part of Africa, a country in Africa, and you act too American, Africans are rightfully so in some form or aspect. They have a right to say this, but they critique black Americans for acting too American. If you go to Africa and you rep an American flag, they will see that as an insult. They'll blame it on American imperialism, the different things that America has done to Africa during wars, and the different exploitation that apparently only America has done. Fuck Europe. Europe has done nothing, apparently. But it's really frustrating to me because I've said this before in another video. If you are an immigrant, you can come to America, and yes, there's a lot of immigrants that go through trials and tribulations in America. So do the natives of America. It's like just a rite of passage, I suppose. You have kids whose parents are immigrants, and the immigrant parents do not allow them to retain any of their culture. They want them to fully assimilate in American culture. Now, mind you, nobody is forcing them to do this. Yes, you have to assimilate to some form of fashion in America. The first thing for you to do is to just learn English. That's no small feat, learning a language. I congratulate anybody who's able to learn a language. That is very difficult. However, at the end of the day, that's really the first and last step, to be honest. Like, you can still have an accent, you can still sit there and retain a good amount of your culture, you can still sit there behind closed doors, or even in communities, be able to represent your culture, talk about your culture. In the cities, New York alone, there is a lot of immigrants that are in New York. There's a lot of immigrants that are in the cities, that are in Chicago. Right, a lot of immigrants, a lot of people there who are American, who are living the American lifestyle, but they also still retain a lot of their culture. They will let you know that. They will rep that. But you don't see the same thing when it's black Americans going to parts of Africa. Right, it's shamed upon. How dare you? You guys act too much like Americans. You guys act too. You try to maintain some of your American identity. How dare you? You're really African. It makes no sense to me, because when you go there, the reason you have value is not because you are a brother and sister. It's because you are a privileged, black person from America that has privileged black American money. They only care about you because of your money. They don't know you. They don't know your family. They don't know your family's family. You can have an ancestry test and sit there and show them the results and be like, you're my cousin on my mama's side or whatever the fuck. And they'll still be like, okay, sorry to this man. Okay, great. But, where's the money? Where's the revenue? Do your part to reestablish Africa. Do your part as the privileged blackie to sit there and help the African people, because that's the least you could do, being a privileged black person. So it's very funny to me when people sit there and have this sentiment, or when people come to our country and they rep their flag, as they have a right to do so. But the dynamics are completely different. As much as we sit there and we talk about the issues with America, you are allowed to be a lot of different things here. Yes, the president is pushing people out. Yes, the president is sitting there, having this whole thing with immigration, but you're still allowed to exist in your culture. You're still allowed to have a hybrid of the American identity with your native identity. And that is something that I do not see parts of Africa promoting. All I see is putting a shame on the American identity, putting shame on the black American ideals or the black American history, and saying you have to fully assimilate and let that go in order to be an authentic African. So I think that black Americans, they're sweating my damn eye. Oh my God, it's hot as hell. I hate it. I think black Americans have every right to sit there and rep their flag, have every right to sit there and rep who they are and what they own and how they own it, because it's like everyone else gets to do so in our country. They get to come here and do it in our country, and then at the same time try to shame us about having no culture. It makes no fucking sense. Respect Haiti for what they've done. Respect Haiti for the fact that they were one of the first, if not the first, to be able to sit there and go against the people that was trying to persecute them and subjugate them to slavery and to try to demolish them in their culture, right? So respect to them for doing that, but at the same time, the dynamics are completely different. And I'm not saying that Haiti is all to blame for that particular type of dynamic, because there are various different types of things and various different types of people and countries and how they view things. I'm just sitting there saying it's very interesting how one person is allowed to have a mix of culture when they go to a different country, and then the other people, they like to sit there and try to fully erase you to make you worthy enough to be in their country. It's just it's funny to me.